यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवाम्बोधे स्थितिर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम्। Hari Om. We were seeing the portion of the dialogue between Himavanji and Mainaji. So Himavanji is telling Mainaji that whatever Naradji has said, let us have faith in that. And if you love Parvati ji, give her the right advice. And that is right now for her to go and do tapas. But mother is mother after all. She has to go and tell this to that little girl who is Parvati ji. So she is unable to say anything when she looks at her. We saw many definitions of Sadhu Purusha. Or there are many definitions. We have seen one of it in the beginning of Ramcharitmanas. Sadhu Charita Subha Charita Kapasu Nirasa Bisada Guna Maya Phala Jasu Je Sahi Dukha Parachidra Durava Bandaniya Jehi Jagajasa Pava. Goswamiji said, Sadhu Purusha is the one who is able to take things from the world, good, bad, both, and especially if some unpleasant experience comes, the one who is able to absorb it and give sweetness back, that person is Sadhu Purusha. Another description of a sadhu is Parakaryam Sadhnoti iti sadhu. Person who helps accomplish other person's work is called a Sadhu Purusha. Parakaryam Sadhnoti. In somebody else's work, this person helps in accomplishing it. Now for that, this person might have to swallow many things, forbear many things, let go of individual likes and dislike, which is okay. He says that is why that person becomes sadhu. So this quality we see in Mother Parvati ji now. She's seeing that mother is not able to speak. So her work she accomplishes. Parvati ji accomplishes what mother has to accomplish now. And it is said such sadhu swabhava only will lead us to the absolute Sat. Sat Swarupa, one who wants to inquire into, it is this sadhu swabhava which will make an adhikari of Vedanta. We should remember this entire portion is the transformation of, or the transformation that happens in the heart of a student of Vedanta. Starting from Satiji and now she is Parvati ji. So what does Parvati ji do? She tells her mother that I got a dream. And in my dream, there was a white Brahmana who appeared. Gaura Varna he was, and he gave me this advice. He said, whatever Naradji has said, that is true. And your parents have also agreed. They are also convinced. It is only your duty now that you should go and do tapas. So now these dohas which are there after 72, two of them are elaboration about tapas. Mother is showing us what is the way to do tapas, what is the purpose behind doing tapas, what is the greatness of this tapas. So let us sing first after doha number 72. This is C sharp. Sorry. श्रीराम जय जय राम, श्रीराम जय जय राम, श्रीराम जय जय राम, श्रीराम जय जय राम। करहि जाई तपु शैल कुमारी, नारद कहा सो सत्य विचारी। मातु पितहि पुनियः मत भावा, तपु सुख प्रद दुख दोष न सावा। तप बल रचई प्रपंचु विधाता, तप बल विष्णु सकल जगत्राता। तप बल शंभु करहि संघारा, तप बल शेषु धरई मही भारा। तप आधार सब सृष्टि भवानी, करहि जाई तपु अस जिय जानी। सुनत बचन विस्मित महतारी, सपन सुनायउ गिरि हकारी। मातु पितहि बहु विधि समुझाई, चली उमा तपहित हर्षाई। प्रिय परिवार पितारु माता, भये बिकल मुख आवन बाता। वेद सिरा मुनि आई तब, सबहि कहा समुझाई। पार्वती महिमा सुनत, रहे प्रबोधहि पाई। उरधरि उमा प्राणपति चरना, जाई विपिन लागी तपु करना। अति सुकुमारन तनु जप जोगु, पति पद सुमिरित जेउ सबु भोगु। नित नव चरण उपज अनुरागा, बिसरी देह तपहि मनु लागा। संबत सहस मूल फल खाए, सागु खाई सत बरस गवाए। अछुदिन भोजनु बारी बतासा, किए कठिन कछु दिन उपवासा। बेलपाती मही परई सुखाई, तीन सहस संबत सोई खाई। पुनि परिहरे सुखानि उपरना, उमहि नामु तब भयउ अपरना। देखी उमहि तप खीन शरीरा, ब्रह्म गिरा भय गगन गभीरा। भयउ मनोरथ सुफल तब, सुनु गिरिराज कुमारी। परिहरु दुसह कलेस सब, अब मिली हहि त्रिपुरारी। असत पुकाहु न कीन्ह भवानी, भये अनेक धीर मुनि ज्ञानी। अब उरधरहु ब्रह्म बरबानी, सत्य सदा संतत सुचि जानी। आवे पिता बोलावन जबहि, हट परिहरि घर जाए हूँ तबहि। मिलहि तुम्हि जब सप्त ऋषिसा, जाने हूँ तब प्रमाण बागीसा। सुनत गिरा विधि गगन बखानी, पुलक गात गिरिजा हर्षानि। उमाचरित सुंदर मैं गावा, सुनहु शंभु कर चरित सुहावा। जब तै सती जाई तनु त्यागा, तब तै शिव मन भयउ बिरागा। जपहि सदा रघुनायक नामा, जह तह सुनहि राम गुण ग्रामा। चिदानंद सुखधाम शिव, विगत मोह मद काम। विचरहि मही धरि हृदय हरि, सकल लोक अभिराम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Now Parvati ji is narrating what dream she saw and what that Brahmana told her. करहि जाई तपु शैल कुमारी, नारद कहा सु सत्य बिचारी. He says, O Kumari, Parvati ji, go and do tapasya. Whatever Narad ji has said is the truth. Matu pitahi puni yaha mata bhava. Mother and father both are convinced, you don't worry about them. I will take care. One Rishi will come to you and convince them later. Bedasira Rishi comes, right? He says, Bhagwan's grace is there, you go. Tapu sukha prada dukha dosha nasava. Now this line we should think about, that Brahman is telling Parvati ji, this tapasya is sukha prada. It gives joy and it removes doshas which are there in our personality. Now we should think whether our idea about tapas is in this way or not. Right? Whichever tapasya we take, either it is, we saw different levels of tapasya, right? One at physical level or at speech level. Whatever we do to not drop our goal, he says that is called as tapasya. Now this tapasya in the beginning is not very sukha prada. Goswami ji said, tapu sukha prada, dukha dosha nasava. But in the beginning it's very painful. That is the nature of sattvic tapas. In the beginning it will be very painful, but that sukham which comes out of that tapas is very sweet in the end. I realize I'm not getting into too many conflicts. I am able to come out of situations quickly with this tapasya. That ability to let go is the sukha portion, the joy portion. The beginning portion of training ourselves to be in that way, that is the painful part. But if we can develop this vritti, that tapasya gives sukham, right now I might not see it. Other way also we should put it. If I don't have tapasya vritti, then I will always end up being miserable. Whatever little comes in my way, that is sufficient for me to drop my goal. So both ways it is there. Tapasya, if we do, that gives sukham in the end, but not immediately. Any change we want to bring in ourselves, so hard, right? Every time we try, again we fall back on our previous thing. But Bhagavan says, take my help and keep walking. As long as goal is in the right place, our direction is also in the right way. Now comes another glory of tapas. So Bhagavan is telling us, Goswamiji is telling us, or that Brahmana is telling in this Upadesha, whatever accomplishments we see in this world, nothing is an accident. It has not randomly happened that some person has reached the top. Now, very worldly example, not directly going into Adhyatmic sadhakas. Anything anybody has accomplished in this world, there is lot of tapasya hidden behind it. No matter how much we say that you can manipulate and also reach the top, that reaching the top by manipulation doesn't stay too long either. In different fields, you take either sports, the sports person, the kind of tapasya they do to reach there, what we are familiar with is only the end product. The name, fame, glamour, whatever they might have, but it has been a long journey for them. Even if it is some musician who is able to come up with some brilliant piece of music, several years of tapasya has gone behind that piece of music. So all of this, Bhagavan is telling us that even worldly accomplishment, if we want, the secret for that lies in tapasya. If a student wants to gain knowledge, they want to be good in their field, it is not an accidental thing. In somehow or the other, we will not end up there. We will have to put forth that effort. This is what Himavanji had told Mainaji, that if you really love her, give her this advice. Right? That tapasya is the root cause of all success, all accomplishments that we see in this world. And tapasya is that thought which makes us come out of our comfort zones. Right? Wherever we are, there are so many decisions we take because it will make us come out of our comfort zones. So that tapovritti, if it is there, it will push us to go into those areas which we are not very comfortable. But for somebody who has to grow, that is the best place. Right? There you go and do your tapasya by growing through that thing. Any profession you take, this tapasya will apply there. So many times you meet, people who are into business or any other profession where their tapasya becomes uncompromisingly going to their place of work, whether they like it or not. Sometimes the client comes and their way of responding to this person is very, not appropriate, but still they have to give a smile and continue whatever they are doing. So that vritti, that thought to not drop our goal, that is tapasya. In the sense that it is more understood or it is more popular is from the standpoint of physical tapas, what we otherwise call as staying away from comforts. But if they have come our way, making sure that we are not dependent on them. Right? Even if they are around, I should be okay if I am not given those comforts also. And this test we can see for ourselves when we travel. How big is our suitcase? What all things I pack for a one-day trip? Gurudev, I think, in one place he has a quote where he says, comfort comes as a guest, lingers to become the host, and stays on to enslave us. And this we should see for different scenarios and for ourselves, that what is this comfort doing to me and in what way it is affecting me. Prosperity or comfort is not criticized. What is criticized is prosperity without tapovritti. If it is there, it's okay, but I should be also good if it is not there. More dependence means more sorrow, right? More paravasham. Paravasham means we are in the hold of that thing. I think I am owning it, but actually that thing is owning me. Why? Because without that thing I cannot live. So not having that kind of dependence on any object, that vritti is called as tapovritti. And Goswamiji says anything in this creation is attained through tapas only. Now you see the glory of tapas. He says tapabala rachayi prapanchu vidhata. Brahmaji, who has creative power, the one who has created this entire creation, he could do this only because of tapas. In Bhagavatam there is a story when Brahmaji first wakes up. He is unable to know what is his duty now, what he has to do. Sometimes in the morning when you wake up, you don't know what is happening where, right? You take some time to know where you are, especially if you have jet lag and you travel from somewhere, then that first 5 minutes or something goes in just settling down. So Brahmaji, imagine he has woken up from Pralaya now. So from Pralaya, once he has woken up, he is now wondering how this creation should come about. And then he hears a voice which says, do tapas. With this tapas, you can recollect back whatever was there in the previous creation. And through that, he is able to continue his work. Means any creative work that needs to be done has tapasya as its root. Tapabala Vishnu Sakala Jagat Rata. Any sustenance work has to be done, that also needs tapasya. You need to have resources to gather. You need to gather resources, and having gathered that, make sure it is used in the right way. And in that, lot of tapasya happens. Tapabala Sambhu Karahi Sanghara Tapabala Sesha Dharai Mahibhara. Lord Shiva is able to do Sanghara because of tapasya. Means in doing samhara, in doing destructive work, there is no thought of revenge. Destruction can happen because of pratishodha vritti also, but constructive destruction happens only with tapovritti. Tapabala Sesha Dharai Mahibhara. Sesha Bhagwan is able to hold the entire Brahmanda on his forehead because of tapasya. Tapa adhara sabasrushti bhavani karahi jai tapu asajiya jani. This is entire creation, O Parvati ji, runs on the power of tapasya. First it gives you power, and then you are able to conduct your duties with that power. And tapasya you applied for both ways, for abhyudaya also, for material prosperity, worldly success also. Tapasya is the root, being able to forbear, willingly undergo discomfort, and for nishreyas also. In Taittiriya Upanishad, the advice given to Bhrigu is tapasa brahma vijijñasasva. Through tapas, go and inquire into nature of Brahma. Vichara sthala muktavan. The teacher only gives him the location where he should go and search. He doesn't give direct indicator nor direct answer. He says Brahman is that from which this entire creation emerges, what is sustained, and there where it goes back into, that thing is called as Brahma. Now you go and find out what is that Brahma. Now imagine what should be the caliber of the student to inquire into Brahman in this way. Means he has to be consistently, he should be consistently be able to think about one topic for a long duration of time, recollect whatever he has studied before, and then try to sharpen his thinking in that direction. Then something new will reveal. Right? So Brahma Jignasa, if somebody wants, then this tapasya is at their root. Being able to consistently think in one particular direction, have consistency in thoughts, right? That also is another tapasya. Consistency in purpose, right? Whatever work we have taken, making sure that we stick to why we have taken up that work. During our first week of the course, right, when we all reached there, we had so many different ideas of tapas, what we should do, what we should not do. I remember one sentence Swamiji said. He said, if you are here for 2 years, if you can try to understand each and every word of every text, that itself will be your tapasya. Because that is why you are here for. You might have so many interests, You might want to play harmonium. You might want to climb up the coconut tree, get the coconut from top. Those things are good, but that is not the reason for which you have come here. So that if somebody can hold on to being very clear about what is our goal and how I can cut myself off from other distractions. Those distractions might not be forbidden things. That, of course, we should let go of. But we realize sometimes we end up doing everything except for that which will help us accomplish our goal. Like, you have a presentation to give or some talk to give, and you are preparing for that presentation. Now you realize, except for that main topic, so many things I have referred to. This website I went, that book I read, this thing I did, that thing I did. But finally, what I have to say there, what content I have to prepare for that presentation, that got left behind. So if I'm able to keep everything aside and channelize my energy towards my goal, that vritti is called as tapo vritti. Somebody who has trained their personality in this way will be very productive with their time, will accomplish many things, and they'll also prepare themselves for the highest truth. Right? Tapasya, one is for abhyudaya. Abhyudaya means worldly prosperity. But one who aspires to become a Vedanta sadhaka, know the nature of truth, then this quality is expected. Single pointedness. That is why it is said, Tapa adhara saba srushti bhavani, karahi jahi tapu asajiya jani, sunata bachana bisamita mahatari, sapana sunayahu girihi hakari. So mother was surprised listening to Parvatiji's description of what that Brahmana had told her and how he has glorified this tapasya. Matu pitahi bahu bidhi samujayi chali uma tapa hita harashayi. Having convinced her parents in several ways, having told them that I will be on the right path, I'm going for a good cause. Giving them that assurance that if I have gone, I will not turn back. Right? That much faith I have, and this is my decision. I will not turn back halfway. Chali uma tapa hita harashayi. You can imagine the scene, that small girl, how she must have gone to do tapasya. At that age, they would have gone with their backpack, to school. She is going to forest to do tapasya. Priya parivara pita arumata bhaye bikala mukha avana bata. Entire family, near and dear ones, they are so afraid and also sad that she has gone there, and they're not able to say anything, nor anything is coming to their mind. And Bhagwan's Krupa is such, if some sadhaka is sincere and that sadhaka has gone to do tapasya, he sends the right people to convince them. So you see now, Vedasira Rishi comes. Vedasira Muni Ai Taba Sabahi Kaha Samujhai. He comes and tells all of them, Mainaji, Himavanji, that you don't know who is Parvati ji. Don't think that she is just that little girl. She is Jagadamba Bhavani. She is the mother of this universe. No harm can come to her. One who sustains this creation, under whom entire creation functions, all three gunas are under her control. How can any harm come to her? Just with these words, they felt very good. Parabati Mahima Sunata Rahe Prabodhahi Pai. As soon as they heard these things, they became quiet. Now is another description of how one should do tapasya. Right? Any tapasya we take, what should be one's attitude while doing this tapasya? Uradhari Uma Pranapati Charana Jai Vipina Lagi Tapu Karana. Holding Lord Shiva in her eyes, beholding Bhagwan in her eyes, Parvati ji, Uma starts doing tapasya. Ati sukumara na tanu tapajogu patipada sumiri tajeu sabu bhogu. First thing which is needed in tapasya is letting go of bhoga. Because tapasya is meant for yoga. It is said yoga and bhoga cannot go together. If not any extreme, understanding of bhoga, at least that which we can let go of, which is not a necessity, those things first a sadhaka should drop. So now Parvati ji is gradually building up, how to do tapasya. She is showing us Nitanava charana upaja anuraga bisari deha tapahi mana laga. Once her mind gets absorbed in Bhagwan, she forgets her body. But most importantly, she finds new and new love for Bhagwan's feet, for her sadhana, and that keeps her going. Now, this particular chaupai is very beautiful, and all sadhakas should reflect on this. Many times we feel, how is your sadhana going if somebody asks us, or how is our life going? Not only sadhana. We say same old, same old. Means what? From morning till evening, same thing is going on. Every day I get up, and then my routine is there. Go to work, come back. This is something else I do. Same old, same old. Which is okay, which is good. But here Parvati ji is showing us that there is a way of finding new things in our own sadhana. Finding something new to appreciate in the work that we do. Finding something new to appreciate in the people that we live with. Right? Something new should be there. That is what brings delight. What is that Guruji has written? New Year song also it comes. Kshanam pratikshanam yan navam navam. And then there is another. Pratidinam navam prema vardhatam. In that song also he says, every day may we find something new to appreciate in the other person. And in our sadhana also, finding something new that keeps us going. So now we all should reflect for ourselves, how will I find that newness? What is it that I have to do because of which I will find something new in my work, something new in my sadhana? Sadhana has not changed. Literally, it is the same japa I'm doing, same puja I'm doing, same parayanam that I'm doing. Little bit of variety might be there. Today you did. It is Monday, so Lord Shiva, Rudram Chamakam you chanted. Tuesday something else, Wednesday something else. But in that parayana, in that sadhana, if I can start deriving rasa. Rasa means what? Joy. That just by chanting Dakshinamurti Stotram, I am reminded of Lord Shiva and so many deeper aspects of Bhagwan and how he is one with me. So, in that, we can derive rasa. In puja, there could be rasa. I thought there was only physical puja that I could do. Now I know I can do Shiva Manasa puja also. So, that sadhana will give new rasa, something different that I am relating with Bhagwan. And now I feel more connectedness with Bhagwan. That also will give this sadhaka a lot of rasa. And our Shastras are not in dearth of any varieties of sadhanas. Stotrams are written so many. So there is no shortage of variety also. So with the help of that, then it is said, develop something new for yourself. And our rishis have also thought about festivals. All festival, the main message is the same. That become a good sadhaka, bring about some change in your routine, and connect more with Bhagavan. But you see the type of navinata, the newness which is there in every festival. No two festivals are exactly the same. Happy Holi, by the way. It was yesterday. And also some people celebrate today. So all festivals are like this, whichever ones we can connect with. So he says, bring that navinata in your sadhana, in your work, and also in living with people around. Because end of the day, all three things are going to contribute towards a healthy atmosphere. Pratidinam navam prema vardhatam. Right? Sambata sahasa moola phalakhaye sagu khai sata barasha gavaye. Mataji's tapas is of very different kind, very high order. 1,000 years, she stayed only on fruits and roots, moola phala, 1,000 years. Then another 100 years only on vegetables. Okay, just eating something, vegetables, whatever grows in the forest. 100 years she did that tapasya. Few days only water and air. Kachu dina bhojanu bari batasa, kiye kathina kachu dina upabasa. Few days rigorous fast. Bela pati mahi parai sukhai. For 3,000 years, dry bilwa leaves. On that she lived. And another 3,000 years, teen sahasa sambhata soi khai. 3,000 years, she just ate these bilwa leaves. That is the tapasya that she did. Puni pari hare sukhanehu parana. And she then even gave up eating those dry leaves. Umahi namu taba bhayahu aparana. At this point, her name became Aparna, one who has given up even eating those leaves. Dekhi umahi tapa khina sarira brahma girabhay gagana gabira. Now this tapasya, what Parvati ji has done, one way of looking at it is upavasa, right? Physical abstinence from eating and doing that kind of tapasya. And how she does that is also interesting to see. She's not suddenly going to giving up leaves, right? Step by step, gradually she is building her tapobala. So whoever sadhaka wants to do tapas, so first day we should not try the highest one. Do it gradually. Whichever tapasya it is, either it is japa, because what we need more is consistency and not going back in our tapasya. But another insight into this nirahara, right, staying away from food, is non-abstinence, or staying away from food means abstinence from vishayas. Right? Food is one way. Ahara, one meaning of ahara is food. But another meaning of ahara is vishaya. So having this vritti to stay away from sense objects, making this mind nirvishaya. Ato nirvishayam nityam manah karyam mumukshuna. We had seen in Amrita Bindu Upanishad that if you just take a sample of our mind at any point of time, you will find everything in this mind is something that has come from outside only. It might be a thought, it might be a person, object, whatever thoughts are there in the mind, all of them are not originally there. They have been input from these sense organs. So upavasa or staying nirahara means not having this desire to input those things too much. And at least for a short period of time, staying away from those things. Or Maharaj used to say, there is something called as Nirjala Ekadashi. Right? Upavasa they do even without water. Nirjala means without water. He says the adhyatmic meaning of Nirjala Ekadashi is Nirjada Ekadashi. Nirjada means what? Whatever is Jada Swarupa, all Vishayas, including from outside Vishayas, then you come to this body, which is also Vishaya. This mind is also Vishaya. Having that single pointedness to shift attention to Chaitanya. That is one kind of tapasya. This is Raman Maharshi's tapasya. He says, Aham apetakam nijavibhagnakam mahadidam tapo ramanavagyam. That whatever jada vastu is there, first of all, dropping shobhana buddhi in those things. Shobhana buddhi means some kind of superimposition of joy in those things. Right? That is the first thing that I should drop. Sankalpa I should drop first. That, these things, at least for a short duration of time, I don't want to bring it inside. And these things we have to see what are the things that are bothering most for all of us. Right? That thing we should drop. Now, everybody won't have the same thing which is bothering. For different people, it will be different things. So if I'm able to keep Jadavastu away, he says that one is called as Nirjada Ekadashi, Nirjada Upavasa. That is Adhyatmic sadhana. One sadhana is at the level of physical body, where we keep food away for some time. But that sadhana, what it should do is, it should change something in our personality, because of which we want to find more and more connectedness with Bhagavan and try to remember Vedantic teaching. Okay, then it becomes Nirjada Ekadashi. Then after she hears or she finishes this tapasya for thousands of years, we just did it in one doha, it went on for thousands of years. She hears a voice, Akashvani happens, where Brahmaji comes and tells her that your tapasya is now fulfilled. You don't have to do any more tapasya. Now you can go back. And when you go back, if your father Himavan comes with a marriage proposal, don't say no. Or even when he comes to take you back, at that time also, don't say no. Just go with him. Everything will happen as you have wished. And when those Saptarishis, they come, you understand that there is not much time remaining now for you to get Lord Shiva. Okay, this is that Akashvani that happens from the top. So now hearing this, Parvati ji is delighted. Sunata gira bidhi gagana bakhani, pulaka gata girija harashani. The result of any tapasya should be this, that our heart should become content and there should be joy. Because tapu sukha prada, right? It should give us sukham finally. So any tapasya that we have done, it should give us joy, and that harsha comes in the heart of Parvati ji. Now in Ramcharitmanas, one story is going on, everything is flowing, then suddenly one chaupai comes. Okay, so here one chaupai comes. Uma charita sundara mein gawa, sunahu sambukara charita suhava. Now who is saying this to whom? Yajnavalkya ji is telling to Bharadwaj Rishi. Goswamiji wants to tell us, don't forget where we started. You remember there was one Kumbh Mela going on, and Bharadwaj Rishi, he had an ashram, and then he caught hold of Yajnavalkya ji, who was about to leave, and he asked a question. That who is this Rama? I know one Rama who is Dasharath Putra, who was weeping and crying. And I've also heard that this Rama is Brahma. I'm not able to fully understand who is Bhagwan Rama. So then Yajnavalkya ji had said the same question was asked by Parvati ji to Lord Shiva. But before I tell you that story, he said I have to tell you about Sati ji. So now that story is going on, and then Yajnavalkya ji is telling Bharadwaj ji. So now I have narrated the story of Parvati ji until this point. I will tell you what happened to Lord Shiva now. So what happened to Lord Shiva, that we will see next time. We'll do our Nama Sankirtanam. Aganita Guna Gana Bhushan Rama, Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Rama, Ayodhya Vasi Sita Rama, Apad Bandhava Jaya Jaya Rama, Dasharatha Nandana Shri Rama, Dashamukha Mardana Jaya Jaya Rama, Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama, Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama, Papa Vimochana Shri Rama, Pattabhirama Jaya Jaya Rama, Janaki Vallabha Sita Rama, Jaya Raghurama Jaya Sita Rama, Vanara Sevita Shri Rama, Varidhi Bandana Jaya Jaya Rama, Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama, Patita Pavana Sita Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Syavara Ramachandra ki Jai, Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai.